Hello, everybody. It is Finch here. Right now, we just have a random round three or round four smog tour game that's run out. However, momentarily we'll be getting one of the most important games of the year, perhaps, between Persephone of the Classiest and xImRaptor of the Ruiners. Right now, the Ruiners, xImRaptor's team, are up 6-5 in the finals of the 11th edition of SPL. And more importantly, if Raptor is to emerge victorious against Persephone in this game, then they will win the series and the tournament 7-5, and they'll be crowned the trophy winning champions of SPL 11. However, alternatively speaking, if Persephone is able to win, which he's definitely is not the favorite, but anything's possible, then the Classiest will be able to clinch a tiebreak, where it'll be a best of three, one SSOU game and one tier in which the Ruiners pick, and then one tier in which the Classiest pick. And the winner of that best of three tiebreak will decide the outcome of the tournament and which team gets the trophies and walks away forever champions of the 11th edition of SPL. A lot of people believe SPL is Smogon's best, most prestigious tournament, and I happen to agree with that. I share that stance myself. So this game to the Smogon tournament community and culture is of great importance, and that should not be belittled by anyone in my eyes. So this game could go a long way. As for a bit of insight on two competitors, Persephone is more of a new player to the scene. He most recently started playing um, in tournaments like World Cup. I think he actually went 2-1 or 2-2 there. He did all right. Nothing overly good, but he managed to hold his own. And then World Cup led to SPL, where he got picked for the Classiest by the Classiest, and he's had some okay performances. I believe he's 4-4 right now, but he got really lucky in a game against Santu, I believe week 8 against the Bigs. In a game he should have lost multiple times over. He tried to throw it away. And he also got really lucky last week in a game against Gary Oak, where he had a fantastic matchup, but then he just played really passive and risked the wrong things and fell into some traps, and it just ultimately crumbled in a way that Gary Oak didn't have a chance due to RNG stuff. Overall, I've been really unimpressed by Persephone's play, but I've been pretty impressed by some of his team choices. So that could be a saving grace here, especially in a tier like ORAS in such an important situation where one game anything can happen. Ultimately, I'd have to say that I believe um, Raptor is a much better player, though. Raptor has been playing pretty solid throughout the entire season. He has a positive record. He also has a similarly positive record in Snake. So really going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here. Um, if I had to guess, I expect probably more of a balanced team from Raptor. Although it could lean towards the bulky offensive side, I don't really see any reason for him to deviate too far from the norm. Just giving the opponent, trying to minimize the chances from having an unfortunate matchup. But we'll have to wait and see, that much is for sure. The game should be starting any moment, though. It's scheduled for 4 o'clock. It's now 4:01. Yeah, just to discuss Raptor a bit more, he's a bit more of an aggressive, instinctual player than Persephone, which happens to pay big dividends as he's been very good in picking his spots and bringing the right types of aggressive play out of his teams. And I'd say that's really worked wonders in his recent run. I believe he's like 6-3 or 6 I think 6-4 this tournament, and he was like 6-3 or 5-4 during Snake as well. So he's put up positive results in a couple tournaments that are pretty important. And also, he knocked both EO and I out of OST, although he got quite lucky against me. Shit happens, no doubt about that. The point is that he's very much deserving of having a spot in a game like this and just being an SPL in general. Whereas Persephone is a lot less proven, so while I'm rooting for the classes to win, I expect Raptor to be favored here, barring matchup. I think he'll be a better player in this game, but again, Persephone, if there's one thing he can do right, it's pick the right team, and that could very well go a long way here. Let's just see if they're online. Persephone is, in fact, offline. Um, Raptor, however, is online and in the lobby, so hopefully Persephone will come in momentarily. In the meantime, I guess I'll just let you guys see the next couple turns of this, see how it turns out. I don't really know. If he doesn't show up for the next minute, I'll probably pause it and wait. I don't want to have this draw too long. But yeah, if a tiebreak were to happen, it would be really big for the Classiest, because otherwise, of course, they're drawing dead. Um, but that's going to take a big win here from a player who has not been called upon in such a situation before. So yeah, all right. I'm just going to pause this. No point in kind of just drawing this out. So I'll wait until the game starts, and you'll see me then. Peace. So just a little update. Persephone has not showed. We're 15 minutes late, and Raptor said he can't play much later than the scheduled time. So right now we're waiting still. Smog Tour is still happening. Solwind is currently farming against Kingler, I think. Let's go with that, yeah. And this is gonna get killed by Avalanche, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Kingler's awful. Anyway, hopefully we can see a game soon. I'll get back to you, that's for sure. Until then. All right, we're getting closer. Persephone's now online. So I'm probably just gonna keep this going until it starts now. Um, Boy, I'll try and put like a description, a disclaimer, in the movie description to say, hey, this dude was slow as shit. Um, and because that we have a lot of time before the battle actually starts, but we'll see. Um, there's a poll right now in the lobby going on. Raptors about 10% favored. It looks like it's like kind of 55-45. Settling is 40. Yeah, okay, we go. Looks like it's starting any second though. So yeah, gonna be very interesting to see what happens. Come on, Persephone left the lobby. Here comes. Yes, I just did a drum roll for my own recording. I'm that guy. Um, anyway, yeah. So it's gonna be really exciting. I'm kind of curious who the teams. I don't think either player is gonna bring like some chancy shit. I think we're gonna actually see like two pretty humble teams. So I'm wondering if that could go a long way here. Classiest seem to be ready. Here comes. And here comes the battle. All right, so on one hand, we have Persephone using a sand team with Volcanion, interestingly enough, to see the steamy one in usage. It's got Metagross, likely the Mega Evolution. Volcanion, as I said. Tangrowth, which I'm thinking is going to be Rocky Helmet. Drill, it's going to be Spin for sure. Tar, just Sep Sand. It could be Rocks, Chopple, or could be something like that. I guess it could be Scarf as well and Tornadoes, which is almost definitely be Assault Vest. Raptors using a bit more of an offensive assault. Kind of surprising, truth be told. He has the Superior, which, if he gets some paralysis and chip on Tornadoes, could be annoying, but right off the bat isn't going to be doing too well. Pinsir, as well, is another kind of flashy offensive Pokemon. If it's an Earthquake variant, it looks pretty nice, but truth be told, it's not going to be able to sweep due to the fact that there are two faster, well, Drill and Sand anyway. Two faster flying resist to take quick attack and a Tornadoes T. But yeah, it could potentially punch holes. There's also a Latias, a Garchomp, which is almost definitely there for rocks, and a Bisharp. It's worth noting that since the Latias is there with Pinsir, it's going to be a Choice Scarf variant with Healing Wish. Um, Bisharp just going to be Sword Stance variant. Actually, looks like the win condition here. With just a little chip on some things, I think it could really go off even without a Sword Stance. But with a Sword Stance, plus two Sucker kills Metagross, plus two Sucker kills Excadrill. It's just a matter of if it's faster than Volcanion or not. Because if it's this fast sub Volcanion, that could play games with it. Plus two Sucker almost definitely kills Tornadoes T as well. Scarf Tar could potentially be a check to it, but really it hinges a lot on what it is that wise in the Tar. I'm thinking it's Rock still. I don't think it's Rock's Metagross on this. But yeah, I think the matchup favors Raptor due to the presence of Bisharp. However, if the Bisharp is disposed of, then I think Persephone has all of the tools in the world, specifically due to Excadrill's threatening offensive nature. If you look at this, the only real check to Excadrill is Garchomp, which also doubles as a check to the Metagross, and is going to be led with here, so could potentially take chip on this turn, as nothing really switches into Tornadus. There's a really good lead from Persephone here. If I had to guess, we're probably going to see Hidden Power Ice if he has it, but otherwise, Knockoff and Hurricane are both really solid moves as well. So let's wait and see. Um, as for Raptor, I think Rocks is probably the play, as there are two Stealth Rock League Pokemon on Persephone's side. However, preserving the health on this is really important. We're going to see the Hurricane for 34% here, and Rocks up as well. So it's a good turn for Raptor, I would say, but Persephone getting exactly what he needs. Some chip on that Garchomp, which will help for Excadrill, which really can ravage the opposing team. The only thing stopping it is priority, so it can pick up a kill before priority gets in safely. It also helps if Metagross is not Ice Punch, or even if it is, you do live one Ice Punch from all the way at full. But yeah, regardless of that, it's pretty big. I'm not really sure what Raptor has to switch in here, truth be told. Hmm. I'm kind of curious to see what Raptor does here. There's no real switch in here. You most definitely don't want to let the Bisharp take chip, even even if you could healing wish up to it, I mean, you just don't want to risk it, especially seeing as this Torn probably has a fire move, if not then a fighting move in the back, which could threaten it. So I just have to switch out anyway. I don't really know how you actually maneuver around Torn with this type of team. I think a lot here hinges on Persephone's ability to keep up pressure, and leading with Torn really does a good job of doing that. As if he gives too many free turns to things like Bisharp, then it can be a long game. Um, Also worth noting, this is an ORAS game with no Clefable, which is pretty surprising. Also no Gliscor, which isn't nearly as much of a staple as Clefable. Even it's not even a top like three Pokemon per se always. But it's just really you see these common things. And okay, we're gonna see Latias here on the Hurricane, only 29%, which is interesting. Um, if I had to guess, Persephone's just gonna U-turn here. Um, you just wonder if the U-turn is going to be met with him staying in with Latias and not risk anything, but that'll let it get trapped by Tyranitar. Or alternatively speaking, if it will be met with something like Garchomp trying to come in to reposition itself. However, going Garchomp risks just coming in another Hurricane, as Latias doesn't really threaten this Tornadus besides potentially Thunderwave. And if he comes in another Hurricane, then he's just taking all of that damage for essentially nothing, as Tornadus remains at full. So Raptor has to be very careful with how he maneuvers here. Persephone has to be careful as well. Taking a Thunderwave in this wouldn't be ideal, but still be manageable in the game state. Persephone's taking a lot of time here, so definitely going to be interesting to see what he decides to go with. I really don't like this team choice by Raptor the more I think about it. Not only is it really vulnerable to this, but it also just relies on specific win conditions getting through and breaking through. And yeah, there is some element of timing and sequential outplaying, if you will. For example, if he just sets up Bishop turn one, then he's probably not going to leads Bishop turn one. He's probably not going to be able to set up and sweep because he's going to be pressured. But if he can pick a spot later on in the game, there's a different story. So yeah, there takes some, but I feel as if Raptor using a balance team would be favored against Persephone in general. And I just don't think it was worth risking such a matchup choice with essential setup spam with rocks and healing wish like this, when he's clearly the better player. But I digress. We're going to see the Excadrill come in here on an Ice Beam. It's going to take 27%, no freeze, and it's going to be leftovers Excadrill, so it's pretty interesting. Drill can potentially get a spin-off and negate the progress that Garchomp made. However, it did take 27% there, and if we were to go for a Rapid Spin, it would take basically another 27%, with leftovers, of course, negating a little bit of it. And that is a lot of health that would put it into neutral sucker range and plus zero sucker range, or leaf storm range, or of course Aqua Jet range from Azumarill, which it might be just after a very little amount of chip at you on this anyway. I think that Raptor's play here, personally, would just be to go to Garchomp. However, I think staying in an Ice Beam does have some merit. Garchomp just covers the Rapid Spin really nicely, and Iron Head. There's no way he's going for Earthquake. And on top of that, if he happens to want to go to Tar here to trap it, then that would also be fine. He's going to go Garchomp here on the Stealth Rock. Okay, that was a good play there from Persephone, and I'd say the right play from Raptor. So Stealth Rock are now going to be up, which can threaten the Pinsir, which is pretty interesting seeing he's the only defog user on the, on the Raptor side is that Latias, which could potentially be Choice Lock the Scarf. I suppose it could be a Scarf Superior or just no Scarf with all the priority and a Culber variant, which could help triple the Tyranitar, but Tyranitar being weakened doesn't really help anything unless it's Scarf. In this case, you want it paralyzed, and getting it paralyzed helps a lot for Pinsir and Bisharp. So we'll have to wait and see really what the sets are. But seeing as this is Stealth Rock, that does open up Tyranitar to be a choice variant. We'll have to wait and see again. Timers are definitely wearing out. There's a lot of thinking put into this, which of course makes a lot of sense. Tank Chomp actually is kind of threatening here. If it goes for a Dragon Tail into Tornadus, for example, that could do a lot of damage. And he's going to instead go for the passive Earthquake. This is a really good play there by Persephone, getting that Tornadus back in, knowing fully well that it actually is quite threatening to the team, and doing as much damage early as possible while preserving the health for essentially for things like Superior could also go a long way. I don't think it's going to be able to really be useful in checking Pinsir, unfortunately, which means that you're going to want to either maintain a Tyranitar and Drill or get the Metagross Megas off. But yeah, definitely a lot to process here. I think that Raptor is in a bit of an awkward position here, as again, switching into Hurricane does seem problematic. It has a lot of potential to a KO here if it is able to connect. Given the initial roll, it should be able to do so, but if it rolls like min twice, maybe it won't. I don't know. I've never seen a Hurricane not 3 at KO guard jump, but it could have some special defense investment to live things like weak attacks from Clef and whatnot, Ice Beam from Slowbro, etc. He's going to go Latias again, which is okay, but it does put it in potential to a KO range. The 29, it leaves it at 29 exactly. So if the Hurricane were to connect again, it would have a decent chance of killing at least. However, it is a roll, and there are odds of missing. And last time around, he did feel scared out with the Tornadus against the Latias, so that's worth noting as well. Raptor's timer is now down to 60, which means that he's going to have to pace up his gameplay a little bit. Persephone also is down low at 90, and Persephone does have a tendency of misplaying in later stages of the game, so that's also worth noting. We're going to see a double switch to Superior here, which is a really impressive play by Raptor, as he got it in when it could have been a Hurricane turn, and it worked. So Raptor kind of showing that he's not afraid of the moment, and he's willing to rise to the occasion. However, will the Superior be enough to break through the mold and really do some damage here? We'll have to wait and see. And Persephone going to drill is just a smart play, as A, as you see, it resists the stabs and also takes very little amount from Ice Beam. But B, on top of that, he is immune to Thunderwave, which was very likely move on that Latias set. So yeah. Anyway, I think that there was some hesitation staying in for Persephone because if you take a Thunder Wave, then that opens up the door for the Superior and other things like Pinzer. So it does make a lot of sense as to why he was hesitant and switched out, and also makes sense as to why Raptor tried to call him on that. And Raptor is probably going to go for the spin here. So yep, rocks are now off the field, but that's a lot of chip damage on that Excadrill. I'd have to imagine that Tornadus could come in here to try and check it, but it might have to take a +2 Leaf Storm or a Glare, the latter of which would be really crippling, the former of which a bit less so. And the Tornadus is going to come in on a substitute. Okay, so it's a sub variant. I wonder if it is still Glare. We're going to see U-turn break the sub, though. Now, Volcanion comes in here on the Glare. Nice play there from Persephone. Would have been great if Raptor subbed again there, but he couldn't have predicted that entirely. I'd have to imagine that +2 Leaf Storm has a chance to kill, but I don't know fully well if it will. Either way, this Volcanion isn't really useful, as the combination of Metagross, Sand, and Tangrowth should be able to check the Azumarill. Metagross does have a +6 Aqua Jet at full, even after a couple Rock turns, I believe. So yeah. Now he's going to go and try and get some substitutes up against that Volcanion in hopes of a full paralysis, as if he is to get a full paralysis, that would go a long way. This does indicate likely that +2 Leaf Storm isn't able to kill it. Another substitute here, and once again, no full paralysis, so it's looking favorable for Persephone. I'd imagine that we're going to see one more, as he has the ability to go for it. After that, I don't think he'll be able to substitute again due to the health restrictions after leftovers even, but we'll wait and see. Paralysis here would be really good for Raptor. Here comes, nope, no paralysis once again. We're going to see it down at 24%, so yep, just out of substitute range. This is going to be pretty big. Not sure I'm too fond of this plays from Raptor, but I get it. Oh, it does kill. It killed the whole time. Okay. So it actually did kill. So that is a kill for Raptor, which is good. He's going to put him in a 6-5 position. However, the Superior is quite weakened, and this means that that Tornado Starion is going to be able to come on in and likely pick up a kill, be it against this, against the Latias, against the Garchomp, whatever it may be. And quite frankly, it looks really threatening from this point onward. So going to be very cautious if I'm in Raptor's position. He's going to actually go to Garchomp, which is fine. Going to do it on a U-turn, which gets some chip, but not enough to negate the Regenerator. But it does get it in safely, which is cool. However, it will open up an opportunity for something like that Tangrowth to come on in to try and potentially kill it with a Hidden Power Ice if it has it. Alternatively speaking, if it's a Scarf Tyranitar has an Ice move, that could be the play. However, he goes Excadrill, which I don't think I understand at all. Why Drill? Maybe he's going to try and chip this with Drill. Yeah, maybe he knows he's faster from calking. Okay. And he wants to put it in Tornadus range. And that makes a ton of sense. So it's actually a good play from Persephone there. Heads up, knowing that he doesn't necessarily need the Excadrill alive anymore, given what he's seen thus far. So despite being a really potent offensive threat, and he could just go for the kill and remain a threat, but knowing that Aqua Jet and Soccer Punch would kill from this range, he just wanted to get rid of that Garchomp. He could potentially spin here. I wouldn't put it past him. However, I don't think spin would 2-KO the Garchomp, so therefore he's going to have to be careful after the first one. Gladius is going to come in here now on an Earthquake. Oh, really good play there from Raptor. However, I don't think this Latias can actually kill the Excadrill, so I assume we'll just see a spin here once more. He goes Tornadus this time on the Healing Wish. Okay, that Healing Wish is probably just going to go to the Garchomp, but had he stayed in with Drill, it could have went to the Superior. Okay, it goes to the Superior anyway. So it's a really nice play there by Persephone to position himself against this. So this, while Raptor might have two Superiors this game, essentially, one Tornadus is enough to check them all, potentially. If I had to guess, we're going to see a U-turn here. No, he's just going to go for that Hurricane, which actually ends up working out really nicely as the Garchomp is going to be connected against. And now Raptor really looks like he's falling apart. Azumarill comes in here. And again, this is really why I didn't like the team choice here from Raptor. I think this is really unnecessarily risky team choice. I guess we are looking like we're going to be seeing a tiebreaker if all holds well. We're going to see a knockoff there, which is really smart. Belly Drum, but yeah, it's going to be stuck very low now in health. I'd have to imagine that he's probably just going to try and go Tangrowth to let it go. He does indeed go Tangrowth on a knockoff, which doesn't quite take it out, but it does knock off the Rocky Helmet, so he's now able to live. And 2 turns of Sand are going to take it out. But if Metagross, Metagross lives, so it doesn't really matter. Metagross lives and potentially his Bullet Punch. If the Bullet Punch just goes for here, of course. Otherwise, a crit could potentially be problematic. Going to go for the Aqua Jet, no critical hit, and he's going to take him out with an Ice Punch. So yeah, that's going to look good for Persephone as well. Now it's just Bisharp against the world, pretty much. Let's see here. So this is definitely in Sucker Range and it's not Bullet Punch. So Bisharp's going to clear against this. This, we don't know if it's Scarf or not. If it is a Scarf Tar, then Persephone almost definitely wins this game, barring hacks. If it's not Scarf Tar, though, I think Raptor has really decent odds. He's going to go Superior in attempts to get a +2 against this and force that Tornadus in hopes of Tornadus not having superpowers so you can set it. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Hopefully for Raptor, if you want Raptor to win, of course. It's not Life Orb Bisharp. If it's Life Orb, that the extra damage each turn after a Heat Wave would really be problematic. Well, here comes. Persephone's timer is quite low. He's going to have to pick a move very quickly, 15 seconds. And he's going to let go of that Metagross, which seems like a wise decision as it's already low. It's in Quick Attack range and Sucker Punch range, and it doesn't have priority of its own. Now it's going to go to Tornadus, and Tornadus will kill with a Hurricane if it connects, and it does indeed connect. It's going to be a kill, so here it comes. Bisharp is almost definitely going to be coming in here from Raptor, and that is going to mean that the Tar set is going to be deciding a lot. He's going to go Bisharp, and I have to imagine he goes for the Swords Dance here. So here goes. Heat Wave with a critical hit or a burn, if it's not Lumberry on Bisharp, could also just put him out of his misery as it stands. It's also worth noting that Pinsir should live in Iron Head after Rocks. So you could get a Swords Dance there, but if it's Scarf Tar, again, that could suffocate it. So Scarf Tar is really going to be vital here if he has it. And if he doesn't, then here comes a Heat Wave. It's going to do 87%. And he's going to knock off instead of Swords Dancing. Wait. Interesting. Okay, so that leaves the Tornadus in Quick Attack range after Rocks. So I think that means he's definitely setting up for a win with Pinsir. Perhaps banking on it not being Scarf Tar, which does make a lot of sense because if it's Scarf Tar, then at this point you just leave it as is. Yeah, actually, I think this was the right play. Well, this was well done by Raptor in this sequence. He's going to go for the Sucker Punch, take it out. Yep. So here comes. Is the Tar going to come out? It is going to be Tar. Okay. And he's going to be Rock Slide, and that Rock Slide is going to connect. So we're going to need a miss from Raptor's side. Um, Persephone said good game. Persephone's an idiot. But if this connects, it's going to be a good game. So here comes, for all the marbles. Raptor's taking his time, but I think ultimately the move is just to click Earthquake if you have it. I mean, if it's close combat, then Ironhead goes. Oh, it's going to connect either way. So it's going to be a good game. Persephone's going to emerge victorious in this really important, decisive game. And it's going to go to tiebreak. So congratulations to the Classiest for bringing it back. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is a really special battle. But yeah, peace.